there was a time in my life, again, story time, where I thought that I was a gardener. So I was back home in Jamaica and I went to an agricultural show. And a part of that show, they had like some beautiful flowers. They were so amazing. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to have flowers like that in my garden. Now, my garden at the time, it needed a lot of work, right? There were a lot of weeds. There were broken sticks. It was just a hot mess. And so I needed to dedicate time to get it to look like that. But I was really focused on what I saw at the agricultural show. I really wanted those flowers. Like, I wanted my garden to look just as beautiful. So I bought some flowers and I came home and I started to work, right? I started to pull up the weeds and, started planting and, added whatever fertilizer I needed to add it and tried to, spruce it up a little bit. Now, after I did that, as you can see on the screen, that's what my garden looked like after I did all that hard work. Now, the thing about that is that I wanted to see the flowers now. Like, I didn't want to wait and 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want to see pretty flowers now. And so, as you can see, there's not much going on right now in this picture. So I would get up every morning, I would water the garden, I would ensure that, all the weeds were removed, ensure that enough sunlight was happening, anything that was hanging over, I would remove that so that enough sunlight would get there. And so I waited and I'm like, oh boy, this is not happening the way that I wanted to happen. And so I still didn't give up, even though I felt discouraged at time. And so I continued to push through. So one morning I woke up and then I saw this. And I flipped. If you guys realize that this picture is a little bit more up close because I was so amazed. It was so beautiful. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. I really did this. I was so proud of myself. I was sharing with everyone, say, oh, look at my cute little flower in the garden. And so that in itself for me was an extremely proud moment. And I'm glad that I pushed. I pressed on. I invested the time to allow something so beautiful to come out of it. What am I trying to say? Is that when you invest your time in developing your skills, when you invest your time to sharpen your skills, to make the skills that you already have better, then you will get something beautiful. And that's your development happening. That's your leadership growing. That's your leadership moving from one level to the next. And so just like I did in this process, even though you might be discouraged at times, even though you feel like, I don't think this thing is for me, don't give up. Continue to push through, because at the end of it, there's something beautiful that's going to come. There's something beautiful that you're going to be able to hold, something tangible to say that this is something that I have accomplished. There's something that maybe it is something intangible that you can say, this is something that I've accomplished because of the level of dedication, the hard work that I went through, right? So remember those things. We're thinking about the growth, the process, the preparation, and the expansion.